Hi, my lovelies. Okay, I wanted to talk about a couple things today that's been happening throughout the United States. And I'm not going to be picking sides. I'm not going to say I'm a Democrat. I'm not going to say I'm a Republican. But I'm just going to be talking common sense. Common sense. For instance, eggs are going to be going up to $11, $12 a dozen here in Florida. And right now in New York, eggs are $20 a dozen. Now, our wonderful leader, his intent is to import eggs into the United States. That doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. We all need to start using common sense when we're listening to what the government is telling us, and a lot of us aren't doing it. Another thing, he is sending home a lot of immigrants. I know Jamaica got, Venezuela, and Mexico. But what a lot of people don't understand that, for instance, this is not hearsay, this is a true story. The farmers in Wisconsin is known as the dairy land. And we produce a lot of cheese, we get our milk. There is some shops there factories there that do butcher animals for our meats, but they cannot supply the entire United States. So we got a lot of meat imported from Mexico, believe it or not. On our farms, we rely on immigrants from Jamaica, example, farm workers, and Mexicans who are hard-working people, just like our Jamaican farm workers. When we let go of all of these immigrants, who's going to be taking care of these farms? This is a big issue with the farmers in Wisconsin. A whole bunch of them came together and they did a YouTube video, and they sent messages out on a couple NBC and ABC, the news channels, stating they are afraid when ice comes up to Wisconsin, because these cows, they have to be milked around the hour. And the way these farm workers work in these farms or dairy farms, they work in shifts to take care of the animals. Now, if we get rid of all these farm workers, I'll be honest with you, a lot of American whites don't want to work on the farms. A lot of Black Americans aren't going to work on the farms because it has been said that they're not going to be working on Uncle Tom's farms to be picking cotton. We have to think logically. Where do we get our food supply from? Who picks these veggies? Who picks these fruits? A lot of them are imported, and the ones that are grown here, our typical layman in this country isn't going to be working those farms. Mar-a-Lago. How do you think Mar-a-Lago is run? By immigrants. A lot of Venezuelans, a lot of Hispanics, a lot of Chinese. They work there. Some of them were immigrants without papers. And our president knew. Our president knew. There was even an interview, I believe it was on ABC News, when a whole bunch of them got together and said he knew. And he got attorneys for them to help them get their papers. But These are who are working in our lower society. This is how they make their living to help their families back home. Who do you think are helping out in the hospitals as housekeepers and as PCA? A lot of them are immigrants. We have to think with common sense. Not with no sense, but common sense. This country was made up of immigrants. This is how this country was made. Even his own mother was an immigrant. She came over here without papers. And then she eventually got married to his father. They were part of the KKK. Many people didn't know that, but it's written. If you Google it, you will see it. His father was a grand member of the KKK. Elon Musk family, his dad was part of the Liberal Party. The Liberal Party was part of the Nazis in South Africa until Nelson Mandela came and broke it down. And apartheid was taken away. So now he is saying he wants immigrants in this country. If they pay him $5 million, they can get a gold card. No longer a green card. Now, let me go further into this green card thing. A lot of us Jamaicans think that once we get our green card, we can travel back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's not so. That's not so. You should have read the papers that you were signing when you applied for that green card. The green card states you have to live in this country, work in this country, contribute to this country if you're going to work in this country. A lot of us get the green card, travel back home to Jamaica, live for 2 months, take care of business, and come back up here. It doesn't work like that. Now, many of you might go against me and say, oh, what she's saying is nonsense. But it's not nonsense. It's all common sense. All common sense. Homes right here in Broward County, they're worth at least $900 to $1.5 million. Who in God's name can afford that? Not even a first responder. That's like teachers, firefighters, nurses, doctors. And the doctors that are affording these homes are doctors that are coming from rich families. Don't forget, when they graduate from medical school, they have to pay back their grants, their loans. So having to pay that, paying for the vehicle, paying for such a house at that amount, you have to be bringing in millions and millions of dollars. My children are still paying for their student loan. To rent an apartment here in Florida for a 1-bedroom, it's $2,500 a month. Now that doesn't include utility, taxes, car insurance, cable bill, or food. How can our young children survive like that? They have to be working 3 jobs just to afford that $2,500 a month. A lot of you didn't vote for Kamala because you didn't want a woman in the White House. Fine. But who are mothers? Aren't our mothers the one that raised us, took care of us when we were sick, fed the family? Even if there wasn't any food, they found food to feed the family. Why did you all think that Kamala couldn't do this and couldn't run the United States? Women are powerful human beings. We give childbirth. A man could not handle childbirth. There we are again. Common sense. Now, this thing he did a couple of days ago with President Zelensky, he and Vance are very nasty to him. As a leader of a country, you should not embarrass another leader as such, especially on TV, live TV. They should have cut off the cameras and discussed business to business. But now Prince Charles has sent him a letter inviting him over to the UK to visit him. But guess who Prince Charles is promoting as I speak now? President Zelensky. And the UK backs Zelensky. How do you think our president is going to feel about that? You know, we're going to get some uproar over that pretty soon. Ukraine just dropped a big bomb in Russia on one of their main bases that promotes airfare, what the planes are doing in the sky, what Ukraine is doing, and so forth. And they got bombed. Zelensky wasn't there. He was here. I don't know why it happened or how it happened, but it happened. Now, he sent our president, ran Zelensky out of the White House. That's not nice. As a ruler of a country, it's not nice. Now, I'm talking this as my personal opinion. Many of you might disagree with me, but this is my opinion. I remember when Seaga was in power and he met with Ronald Reagan, and Ronald Reagan wanted Jamaica to be just like Puerto Rico and the Bahamas, where people could come to the United States legally and work, and he wanted to help Jamaica like that. And a lot of Jamaicans turned it down. This is not hearsay. This is history. Now, this leader wants to come to Jamaica and wants to throw over Jamaica and put back in a U.S. base and take over our oil. People, please don't do that, because you're feeding into the devil's mouth. You're going to be giving up your country, what you have worked hard-earned money for. Living over here isn't necessary that perfect. I remember my friend Miguel from Colors Smith TV. He had stated that when people send you things to Jamaica, don't complain and say, oh, they just send this and send that. Because Miguel came over and stayed with Auntie Pauline during the Christmas vacation, and he himself saw how people had to go to work in the snowstorm. They had to be driving in the snowstorm, taking the bus in a snowstorm. It's not easy work, it's hard work. And we have our bills to pay. So whatever we send or anything in a barrel, Don't complain. Say thank you. Be grateful and say thank you. We do it out of the goodness of our hearts. Sometimes we would rather send to our family in Jamaica than feed our own family over here because we say, oh, they need it more than us. Well, let me give you an example, another example. I just bought a piece of chuck roast last week. £2. I paid $20 for it. $20 for that £2 piece of meat. What I came to realize is that beef is cheaper in Jamaica than over here. Eggs, as I said, down to $11, $12 for a dozen. And look how eggs is given away free down there. You have a little chicken in the backyard, you can get egg, eat it. No, we have to be paying so much. Where I'm moving to in Palm Bay, my home is going to be costing me in the almost 400,000. And the reason we decided on Palm Bay was because of the home price. Because it's not as populated as it is down here in Broward and Dade. Those who are looking for homes, I encourage you to look in the Port Charlotte, Fort Myers, Palm Bay, Palm Coast area, Dayland area. You'll find homes in a 300-400 price range, and you'll get what you want. But remember, it's a growing development. You will have everything that you have in Dade and Broward. I drove around in Palm Bay yesterday. I tried to take pictures, but unfortunately, my video wasn't working. I thought I took pictures, but it didn't go to pictures. Excuse me, it didn't go to video. It only took pictures. I drove around Palm Bay yesterday, and I saw the malls. I saw strip malls. I saw a lot of places that we thought was what down here at one time. They're up there. I'm happy. I'm happy. We're only 2 hours away from Broward County. That's another reason why we chose Palm Bay. Palm Bay is going to be a mixed neighborhood, just like West Miramar is a mixed neighborhood. We have a lot of West Indians up there, a lot of Jamaicans up there, which I don't mind, because it's my own people. My own people. My children are looking forward to it. It's a new start. Because sometimes in life we have to make a start. Do something different. Take yourself out of the negativity and move away and get a fresh start. And then good things will happen to you. And that's why we decided to do it. Again, I'm saying this is just my opinion. My opinion. My president has sent home so much illegal aliens, and a lot of them are homeless, don't have anywhere to go. Do you think it is fair for him to come to Jamaica, want to build up an American base and take our oil? Think logically. No. No. What we need right now in Jamaica to make Jamaica great again is not just one public hospital, at least 3 public hospitals. One to the left, one to the right, one in the middle. We need proper medical equipment down there. We need proper doctors down there. We might have some, but we don't have the necessity that they have up here that we need in Jamaica. If we get all of that together, everything will be fantastic. Another thing that Jamaica needs to do is form an insurance for the entire island. I know they have their special things for Jamaican citizens, but how about social medicine like Canada? Have you all thought about that? How it would work with social medicine? People complaining that there's no jobs in Jamaica. What about all these infrastructures that are going up all over? People shouldn't be begging on the street. I know times are hard. I realize that. But what about infrastructures? They need welders. They're going to need plumbers. They're going to need carpenters. They're going to need builders. There's work. We need teachers right now. It's so sad to see that a lot of my people would rather sit down and beg money when there's work out there. I know this for a fact because I spoke to several people in Jamaica that are doing it right now. And they say the ones that are begging are the ones that don't want to work. Let's give back to our country. Give back to our country. Instead of fighting against one another, give back to our country. Make Jamaica great again. We don't have to have all these killings. Why have all this violence inside of us? Why? Because of greed? You think money can buy love? You think money can buy happiness? It can't. It can't. Jamaica is known for having the most religion than any other country in the world. If that is so, then why not practice what you preach? This is just a short little documentary today. Again, I'm not stepping on anybody's fingers or toes, but this is just my expression. My expression. Enjoy, everyone, and have a fabulous time. And let God bless you all. Kisses.